Last week on Marina Queen Sailing, it was Cape O'Kelly and Mission BayFest. Yeah, this week, I'm heading back to San Diego. Stick around. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen out there. Well, I'm making my way out of Mission Bay. But you know, in light of this quandary that I find myself in, you know, is it the SoCal bounce or the Baja cruise? I don't think I've got a single vote yet for the SoCal bounce. So the writing is probably on the wall for me, and I'm starting to realize that maybe my Mission Bay visits are numbered. Maybe I'm going south. Go south, old man. So I think it was on the way to Mission Bay that I shook that reef out. So here I am sailing back to San Diego. I got the Genoa out, I got the Maine out, no reef in it. I'm single-handing. So I feel like I've, taken a few steps here, exercised a little incremental improvement. Despite the wind noise that the microphone picked up, this was really a pleasant sail. I've been sailing ever since I left Mission Bay. I'm hauling butt and going 6 point. Probably about 6, maybe high 5, 5/8 to 6. Swells, there's no seas really to speak of, but the swell is probably maybe 5 to 6 feet. And yeah, I mean, right now I'm getting a speed of, high 5s, 5.8, 5.7, like that. And I'm getting a apparent wind of about 12. And that wind is coming somewhere off my starboard quarter. Well, that there is a HH-60 Jayhawk Coast Guard helicopter. Sure looks like he's doing some kind of search pattern, maybe training. So right now I'm setting up to make that turn northward around Point Loma into San Diego. And I'm doing it under sail today. That's really great. Yeah, I was able to sail the whole way down here, so I'm gonna see how deep into the bay I can get. There are kelp beds known as the Point Loma Kelp Beds that extend from like 1.5 miles off of Point Loma north along the coast to Mission Bay. This is why prudent sailors inbound to San Diego from the northwest won't cut the corner on buoy 3, but rather take buoy 3 down the port side. I'm coming around Point Loma right now. This is where the wind tends to kick up. So I got the engine off and I'm sailing in with the Genoa and a full main. Single-handing. I'll tell you, the first time I came in here with Chuck, it was I learned a lot. I could have learned a lot more had I knew what I was doing more, but I learned a lot from him. So, thanks, Chuck. Anyway, I had to dodge 2 kelp beds to get into this position right here. These kelp beds can be a real problem. I find that when I'm sailing, it's not a problem. I just glide right over them. But when I'm motoring, it's a real problem. When I got out of the yard and tried to go to Mission Bay, yeah, I was trying to motor into a nosewester. Got my prop wrapped up in the kelp twice. I'm coming way to the left of channel here. Yeah, so if I'm sailing, I really don't mind skirting the edge of this kelp bed. But if I'm spinning the shaft, I gotta respect it. Oh, I'm going starboard to starboard with this big Navy dude. Yeah, this is a pretty unusual sight. Well, look at that. She's not commissioned. Well, this is the ex-Paul F. Foster. It's actually the last surviving Spruance-class destroyer. It was decommissioned in 2003, but the Navy still uses it as a self-defense test ship. It's where the Navy experiments with weapons and sensor systems. Oh yeah, now this one's still commissioned. Sun's out, guns out, baby. Having that Aegis fire control system on board, these guys are a big deal when it comes to ballistic missile defense. Wow. That was the USS Bunker Hill. Yeah, I could read it on the transom. Well, thanks for watching this episode of Marina Queen Sailing. I'd appreciate it if you'd give me a like, for sure, and subscribe, for sure. You gotta tell Mr. Algorithm. Feed the algorithm. Algorithm. I'll see you next week on the boat. For real-time updates, check out @Marina Queen Sailing on Instagram.